Kevin Durant set to return to the Warriors lineup on Saturday.
Ooh!
The Warriors have been pretty good without Kevin Durant. So here's Curry's stats without Durant. We'll go in order of the elements so Jacorey doesn't yell at me. Jacorey. Jacorey. Not that hard. Steph during the Warriors' 11-game win streak, 27 points, 7.9 assists, 4.5 rebounds, 50% from the field, 46.5% from three, 10.4 attempts, 91.7 free throw percentage. He became the first guy to hit 300 threes since Steph Curry did it last year, making him and Steph Curry the only guy in NBA history to ever hit 300 threes. Last year, he hit 402, which is just so ridiculous in the first place. So, Steve Kerr said this about Kevin Durant, though, most recently. This is like a couple days ago. I might not play him. So much better without him. Hardy, har. And then, but let's talk about something more important here. The Warriors are better with Kevin Durant. Now, I get it. They're back to their form without Durant. And here's the reason why, Francis. That team has played together. That core that's there, Draymond, Curry, Thompson, Iguodala, Livingston, specifically those five, have played together. They know each other's games. They know each other's movements for about, what, 4-ish years now? Mm-hmm. And Durant's been there for less than a calendar year. Mm-hmm. So they're better without Durant because they're falling back on what they're accustomed to and what they're comfortable with. And Curry gets to be the #1 guy. Now, what's going to take some more time still through this playoffs and into next year is to get their full swing with Durant. They will be better with Kevin Durant. And there's even some stats to prove that they were. This is why I sent this out recently. Cavs are better without Kevin Love Day on June 9th. 2016, March 31st, the Warriors are better without Kevin Durant Day. For all of 2 quarters, I thought during the playoffs last year that maybe Kevin Love was Blake Griffin. Maybe. And that take changed very quickly because Kevin Love put up remarkable numbers this season, all-star this season, or deservingly an all-star this season, and was instrumental in them winning the finals. Instrumental like Irving was, instrumental like LeBron was. 2 quotes, and then I'm going to let you take the floor because I talk too much as it is. From Shane Young, who's coming on Friday possibly, the Warriors are going to be the first team to ever win 65 wins 3 straight years. But that's not better than the Celtics were in the 80s or the Bulls were in the 90s, was it? Yeah, actually it was. And then his second tweet, which I really liked as well, their net rating is now 12.1. Last year was 11.6, despite only having 9 losses in 2016. That's the season, not just during the streak. And Shane Young's a big defender of the Warriors because as it's split 50-50 of the people that just want to triple down on the Warriors suck with Kevin Durant and they're not as bad. Sorry, wrong wording. They want to triple down on the Warriors are not as good. Well, if they win the finals or they get back to the finals, then they are as good. They're just as good. And if they win, then they're better. I mean, we're setting the bar as finals champions.
Because even if they cruise towards the finals, averaging more points, maybe even have as close to the record last year, if they go forth and they win, then the record last year, who really gives a shit? No one cares. Like, regardless of how many wins they put together, what their shooting percentage is, whether or not without Kevin Durant, they're shooting slightly better or not, whatever. If they get back to the finals and they win, that's the standard you're holding them to, is that they got to the finals last year and they lost. They weren't good enough to beat the Cavaliers, so they added another piece, a very strong piece to that puzzle that could help get over that hurdle. They acknowledged that last season it was, in a way, detrimental to their overall goal by focusing so much on that record and focusing so much on the regular season. I think Steve Kerr's learned his lesson from that. He admitted to it that the fatigue played a large role in what they were trying to do last year. So they added more depth, and yes, they play well without Kevin Durant. Because when you get into a team that's accustomed to everyone clicking and you know what it takes to win, I would only take that argument serious if they were without Kevin Durant and they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers over a 7-game series. And I'd be like, okay, maybe make that point. But until that happens, I'm going to keep my mouth shut and I'm going to wait to see what happens. If Kevin Durant comes back and they start shooting atrociously and they maybe go out, maybe they crash out to a team in a surprise, make your case. But until then, it's just another clickbait headline to discuss whether or not they're better without him.
Even if they don't win this year, and look, if they get knocked out by the Rockets, I still think I'm going to look at this as big picture and wait to make these rash judgments next year, the end of next year, because I think the excuses can't be made at this point next season. If the Warriors, for whatever reason, have 55 wins at the end of next year, they're the 4 seed, they limp into the playoffs, and they just get wiped off the floor by the Spurs, you can make that case. But this is a team that's going to win, and I was wrong. I said pound the under. New team, new players, it's going to take a while to adjust, take the under 67.5 wins. I think they're going to get to 60. 67.5 wins was their over-under. We're talking about the highest bar in the history of regular season win total.
Yeah.
Ever. Ever. And possibly a 3rd straight trip to the finals.
Yeah.
I like when people start to hate teams because that's when I'm going to defend them.
Yeah. Well, I think this team has faced a huge amount of scrutiny, which is so ironic considering that they weren't a dynasty. You know, they weren't a dynasty in basketball. Like often people will hate the dynasties who are always good,
right?
Are always at that balance.
Because they don't need. Look, I'm a Knicks fan. The Lakers don't need any more titles.
Yeah,
they don't have to ever win again ever. It's fine. They'll still have more than us literally until I die.
Yeah. And it happens with Manchester United in world football. Is
Celtic in the Scottish Premier League.
Celtic in the Scottish Premier League. And then the point that I make, the last point to kind of take it home is when Suárez came to Barcelona, he was coming into a team that was already so successful.
It's the same thing.
How do you fit straight away? Oh, they're not clicking. Remember Messi's performance is suffering. Neymar's is getting better. Messi was injured. Suárez and Neymar were better together. Messi come back and they just blew everyone out the water. And in the season, they won everything. And the season later, they struggled a little bit. And people were blaming it on that. It's like, good teams don't get complacent. And that's what the Golden State Warriors realize is like, we can't get complacent. We'll bring in this player who's a world-class talent who's going to help us get over that last hurdle. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to take adjustment. It's going to take someone like Curry maybe taking a little bit more of a retreated role at times, but not all the time. And these things...
Look, he's got to Dwayne Wade himself. He has to just accept that. And again, we're talking about a guy who hit 300 threes for the first time since Steph Curry did it last year. And they're the only 2 humans, well, 1 human who's done it twice. They're only 1 human who's done it once.
Yeah.
Ever. So, no, he's not the MVP this year. But there was the last thing I'm going to leave you on is like a food for thought type of thing. And I don't know where I even stand on this. Is it more impressive that Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double this season? I think he's pretty much locked that. Or was it more impressive that Steph Curry hit 400 threes on 50, 45, 90 shooting last season? What was the more impressive feat? You can literally fight to the death in the comment section. By all means. I don't know. You let me know. Maybe we have to bring on a super panel.